We are Popcorn, Piss, and Vinegar, giving you a raw take on movies, television, and pop culture. My name's Chris.
I'm Scott.
JB4.
And today on the show, we have special guest. He's an actor and a philosopher. His name is Corey Stewart.
Hi guys. It's very nice to be here. How are y'all?
I'm doing well, man.
It's good to be here.
Corey, it's been a long while since I've seen you, man. Tell us some of the things that are going up. You have any acting gigs that are coming up, or?
No acting gigs right now, but
Maybe.
I am. Maybe I am on the other end of something right now. Something in production. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't know what has been said.
Yeah, you can throw some catnip out there.
Are you in Star Wars Episode 9?
Yes, that is true. Star Wars Episode 9. I'm playing Hurley.
I remember him from.
It's gonna be interesting. It's really nice.
That could mean that JJ's directing.
Tomorrow he's
No
going to get
spoilers.
fired, actually, because he has too big of an ego.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. Catnip us with this gig.
No. There may or may not be space. A little professional wrestling.
Oh, okay.
And,
I know what this is. Okay.
And,
Cool.
But it's stopping right before tentacle porn. So
Okay.
that's where we're gonna end that there.
That's cool.
Maybe.
All righty, man. Y'all ready to get us some news?
Yeah.
All right. No trailers this week, but I'll hit you with the big news. It was projected that the movie It was going to do $50 million on its opening weekend and probably wear the new crown as the highest grossing movie of September. The highest grossing September movie at the current point is Hannibal. Which starred not Jodie Foster.
No, that was the
Anthony
Julianne
Hopkins
Moore.
and Julianne Moore.
And the uncredited Gary Oldman.
And the uncredited Gary Oldman. All those that movie is is kind of like the crown wearer for September. It definitely surpassed it, and they undershot it. It looks like this movie is going to make $100 million this weekend.
Wow.
That's fucking superhero numbers there, man.
I saw it. I saw it
Yeah,
on
Scott.
Saturday, and it's got legs. I think it'll survive till Halloween. Just by word
Oh,
of mouth,
yeah.
it'll survive till Halloween. It's a good scary movie.
Good.
But it's not too scary to where it's not going to chase off those people who are like, I hate scary movies. It's like it's a very well done movie, and I suggest it.
When you're dealing with anybody over the age of 12 that has phobia of clowns, which that's been a new thing in the last 30 years. I mean, I'm
They
sure
addressed that too in this film, which is kind of funny. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Did they say it's ridiculous?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, because it's true.
You know.
So, but anyway, I mean, it's the whole thing with the clown thing. I mean, look, it's been a well marketed movie, and it's kind of crazy. We're going through this Stephen King renaissance. You know, I mean, there's so much shit that's going on now. I mean, he's got this It movie, Dark Tower, whether it was good or it was bad, was just released. He has a show. He has a show coming on Hulu that's called Castle Rock. That's going to be kind of like a shared universe thing. He's got The Mist on Spike TV, which they actually say is a good show. I haven't watched it just because I don't have the time, but they say it's very good.
It's solid. It's a solid show, yeah.
All right.
But I've also read some people trash the shit out of it. I also have to say that...
Yeah, well, you'll always have that. I mean,
Right. There's a solid 20... Like, with it sounds like the people that see it, they either love it or hate it.
I can't understand why anybody would hate it unless they're like this purist that's I only love the miniseries or I only love the books. I think regardless of any of those things, I think if you put those aside, it's still a solid film.
Take Tim Curry out of the 1990s made-for-TV movie, and people would forget that this thing even existed.
I guess.
Yeah.
So
No, I
it's
agree.
overrated.
And
it's a piece of shit. It really is.
But
And
but
Skarsgård does a good. He's a good Pennywise. He fills the clown shoes very well. You know.
if the clown shoes fit.
Right.
No, I think the thing about Stephen King that makes him like more I guess influential in the long run is that he has now, what are we looking at? 4 decades?
Yeah.
Yep.
4 decades. He's like Crichton, and whether it's It, because it's going to keep getting remade, whether it's this year or 20 years from now they redo it again.
Yeah.
He has the legs. So like you said, the movie has legs. Absolutely. If the film is actually done up to the standards where he says, "Oh, I've seen it twice. It's good." Yeah.
I'll say this though
I'm in.
the only thing that I'm worrisome about is that this movie is done. It is a good movie, but it's good because those kids.
Yeah.
They're really great actors, and you kind of, it brings you back to when you guys were like 13, and you can relive some of that stuff, and you know what kid fears are because you were kids.
I'm sure Stranger Things has definitely helped this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it has.
But I guess my point is when they do the chapter 2, when they do the adult version, I'm a little worried that we're not going to get the same heart that we had. I mean, I know the kids are supposed to be in that film too as flashbacks and stuff like that, but I mean, these kids really made that film more than anything else. And unless you can bring on solid writing and solid actors.
Well, that's what you're going to need. I mean, you're going to have the writer come in that did this movie and say, okay, I need to find a way to capture the same heart and the same camaraderie with,
and the same fears.
And the same
Because
fears, right, with these
like,
adult actors.
Fears. What's an adult fear? Oh, I hope I can pay my bills this month.
Right, losing your house.
I hope that cop right behind me isn't pulling me over.
Right. How do you play that into a? I'm sure they're gonna have to really go into it and make the fears a little more.
Stephen King's Audit.
Yeah.
Everything that I've seen though.
Audit. Yeah.
Everything that I've seen though in the movie though, that a lot of the hate that's on a lot of these web pages where people are bashing it and shit, all of it's hipster hate. So I don't really pay attention to
I gotta
it.
talk to my people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to go definitely find some souls to drink, man. Fuckers. Well, look, moving into some Stephen King news here. With the projected success of It and shared universes being the latest Hollywood trend, Stephen King began his in literature in the 1970s, as we all know. Thanks to the Sonny Bono Copyright Act passed in 1998, all artists are able to terminate transfers of rights after 35 years of a specific work's publication. King will be reclaiming the rights to the following stories: The Dead Zone, Cujo, Creepshow, Children of the Corn, Firestarter, and Cat's Eye, effective January 1st, 2018. If there's a desire to remake any of these movies, the studio will have to deal directly with him. Hey, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember watching Cat's Eye in the movie theater. 84. My father brought me. Thanks, Dad. I was a child. And it scared the crap out of me. I watched it about a year ago with my wife, and on revisit, almost 30 years later,
We're talking about Cat's Eye?
Cat's Eye.
Oh, yeah,
Cat's
it
Eye.
holds up well.
It damn straight it holds up well. It
Really?
freaked me out. Now, maybe it's because
Smokers-
I haven't seen it since I saw it as a kid, and
Right.
it was triggering something, but that one holds up.
The little troll in the wall is kind of fun now.
That's the only
But
part
I'll
I
tell you
remember.
one thing: the Smokers Inc.
Smokers Inc.
It's fucked up,
The
man.
finger, the cat.
yeah. That's
that
fucked
one.
up, man.
No.
Smokers Inc. is fucked up.
I have to watch it again.
Was one of the segments in the movie.
I bought it.
It's one of the segments of the movie. James Woods stars this guy who's trying to quit smoking, and he signs up with this very aggressive company that gets you to quit smoking.
Yeah.
But the thing, what it is that they do horrible fucking things to you if they bust you, and they have spies out all the time watching you to see if you're cheating. And it's
It's
fucked
Black
up,
Mirror.
man.
It's like the original Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
cool.
it's really great, man. I love Cat's Eye.
Yeah,
man.
it's a
So-
good one.
Yeah, but the little troll did scare the shit out of me
As
when
a
I was
kid?
a
Oh,
kid.
absolutely.
But I see it now, and I'm like, it's kind of funny.
I
in a
kind of
way.
want a stuffed animal up.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I almost want him to come out and do like the do the frog kicks from WB. I mean, that would be fucking awesome.
Smother Gertie.
Right. But no, I mean, hey, look, good for Stephen King. I mean, he's got some good stories that are very iconic, and I mean, it's things that you know. I mean, dude, Carrie, Cujo, fuck on down the line, Christine,
Creepshow.
man, that's all.
Creepshow.
But like the ones that he's
Creep
getting,
show.
these titles you just mentioned seem like they're ripe for the remaking them,
Yeah.
but like on Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
you could see a Creep Show on Netflix.
Sure.
Or, you know.
Creepshow reminded me a lot of that. What was the four-way Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez movie?
Four Rooms.
Four Rooms.
Yeah.
That's what Creepshow originally was like, because it was directed and produced by King, George Romero, and Walter Hill. So I mean, it was three kind of horror masters that put this thing together. But I think it's awesome, man. I mean, good on him. You know, it's cool shit, and I'm sure re-securing those rights to do things like with Castle Rock and things like that. You know.
Oh yeah, Stephen King isn't terribly. He isn't too much of a dick. You know, I mean, the only movie I know that he was particularly disappointed in was The Shining, which is he's learned a lot since then. I'll put it to you that way.
Well, he was really upset with The Shining to the point that he went and made his own version for TV, and it was fucking horrible.
Terrible.
Wasn't Steven Weber?
Yeah, he went with Steven Weber as Jack Torrance.
It's terrible.
It was really bad.
I mean, good hair, but just
Yeah.
bad Jack Torrance.
Yeah, but I mean, he tried to follow it more to the story. But I mean, I remember the original book. I read it in high school, and I mean, it's fucking good.
Well, that's
really
just
good.
it. Is that you can't really. There are certain things that work on the page that don't work on the screen.
Correct.
You know? And Stephen King was married to his stuff, and I think he's less so now. Now that he's had some really good movies.
Well,
made
you know,
and he's done.
it's sort of like what he said with The Mist when
Darabont.
when he changed the ending of The Mist. He approached King and said, "Hey, what do you guys think? You know, what do you think of this ending?" And King was like, "Yes, absolutely, do that. That is awesome." And when the finished product was amazing. So.
It is.
Shoot, I mean, to kind of
like,
change it up, the guy wrote Fight Club. He said the movie ending's better than what he put in the book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Polonic, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I'll just throw this one last thing about Stephen King before we move on with the news. On the
Maximum Overdrive remake?
Oh no, thank you. There's
With
some
AC/DC.
there's some that should not be remade, but the cat who directed It, he said that once he finishes his second chapter, he said he would really like to do a retelling of Pet Sematary.
Oh, nice.
So
well.
hopefully he nabs that. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, bring Edward Furlong's career back from the dead.
Ooh,
Yes.
No pun intended. Pun intended.
Speaking of coming back from the dead, Indiana Jones 5 is unfortunately moving forward. It is confirmed, though, that Shia LaBeouf won't be appearing in the movie. I wish that they wouldn't even make it. I mean...
yeah, what do you do at that point? I mean, hey, we told this story where they had, this cat, this guy flying through the trees with the monkeys. He's Indiana Jones's kid. They got married, blah, blah, blah. Just scrap all that.
Well, if they're gonna,
if
if they're trying to make a franchise out of it, and the son from Marion doesn't work, then maybe he has one with Willie, which would be really the ultimate insult.
Yeah.
See, now I have something rolling on in the head.
I still like Chris. You had said before about just having him retell his own tales.
I was getting ready to repeat it. What
Just
you do
do
is
that.
look, you just take Indiana Jones, you take him as he currently is, you make the thing equal to his age. I guess it would probably be like maybe the 50s or 60s at this point. He's sitting over at the university, he's hanging out. They have a young kid that's kind of read about his exploits and kind of read things in between the lines, and he kind of knows what Indiana Jones has accomplished. So he's interested in going to him to recall some of his other adventures. Okay. So he sits down with Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. He starts telling the story. It goes into a flashback to where it starts telling new adventures, and we introduce Bradley Cooper as Indiana Jones. That would be my run.
All right. My only concern with that would be the timing. I mean, we're getting Han Solo, so we're getting a young Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but this is going to go forward. We don't ever
So,
have to
you want it
revisit.
going forward? We
This
don't.
is-
We don't see
yeah,
a
oh, yeah.
flashback of young Indiana Jones.
No. I would have a flashback. I'd have the whole story told as if he's telling it, and Bradley Cooper is playing the young version. And then after this movie is over, the franchise moves
Just
forward
continues
entirely
with-
with Bradley Cooper as Indiana
All right.
Jones.
Okay.
Right.
I think he's the best choice. He's a great actor.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
He can pull off that rugged, handsome kind of look, and he does good impressions, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever see? I mean, I think he could pay, do homage to Harrison Ford while still making it his own, and I think it would be pretty cool.
I'm a little bummed that Shia LaBeouf isn't going to be in it because I've sort of grown very fond of his acting and just the things that he's done. This is in the late, the past few years. So I am a little. I would actually.
Me too, but I actually like him better as an unstable person processing all this stuff through media than an actor.
I got to kind of agree with you. Even though he rocked in Fury, though, man.
I was just. I don't care. I don't need an Indiana Jones 5 though. I don't need it.
No. And it's Raiders of the Lost Ark is arguably one of my most favorite movie of all time. But
it's easily top 50 of all time. Easily.
Yeah. Well, empirically, it's easily top 10, I would argue. But for me, it's that and The Matrix. I'll go back and forth is my favorite movie ever made. So it's difficult for me to say, move on. But at the same time, none of the other 4 movies that have been, or 3 movies that have made since, hold up to Raiders. They're not even close.
I agree with you, John. Raiders of the Lost Ark is the definitive Indiana Jones movie. All of the other movies are caricatures of Indiana Jones. Exactly. It's not even the same character, really. Yeah. And his supporting characters are not really the same characters.
Yeah.
The dead giveaway is Denham
Elliott.
Yeah, Denham Elliott that plays Marcus Brody, the museum curator.
Yeah.
You look at him in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, he's kind of like this cutthroat kind of businessman / museum curator.
Then jump to
he's a fucking juggling clown in
Last Crusade.
It's horrible.
He's a buffoon.
Yeah, he's a buffoon. Exactly it.
So
nah.
Thank you for playing. Move on.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to get it, and I don't expect it to be much better than what we saw last time.
Same writer, so yeah.
It's going to
David Koepp.
It's going to be real shitty. Dwayne Johnson, Part 2. John Cena is rumored to be the lead to play Shazam.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I still don't think this movie's going to get made, but if you're going to get a Shazam, I like John Cena
is Shazam, and The Rock is Black Adam.
Come on. We've seen this, Scott. You and I saw this. We saw this twice, 2 years in a row. The one-time only match. We got it 2 years in a row.
Well, now we're going to get it on the big screen.
Yeah, so now 3 times for one time only. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
I still don't think it's going to get made, but okay.
Yeah. There it is.
So Chris is.
I really don't have any comment. I mean, dude, it's
at that point, John Cena, because the reason that they're doing this is because John Cena is he's very hot. He is very on the cusp of The Rock. He
can be seen.
He can do it.
Well, and plus,
he can be seen.
Hang on a second. Basically, Shazam is Tom Hanks's Big, right? Like it's a kid that becomes a superhero. John Cena can pull that off based on his latest comedic performances.
I understand that. Yeah, I'm not saying what I'm saying. I'm going to go back to this film's not going to get made is because of John Cena being very big right now. I use your term.
Yeah.
He's the big thing right now. So they're bringing him in, but he's also going to be the big thing for every other movie that's going to want to suck him in. And somebody's going to go, we have the money and we have the production ready to go now. Not this Shazam movie that may or may not happen. And he's going to jump on board
like Knight
just like
Rider.
The Rock. Hey, if it starts filming and he gets in, he gets in. And then he's not available for Shazam or The Rock.
This isn't a definite thing, but here's a stat for you, or a piece of trivia for you. When they go to the Make-A-Wish Foundation to try to go and grant the wishes of young children who are dying, you know who is the number one most requested person?
I do.
John Cena.
Yep.
So
shut up.
Yep.
Really?
Yes, makes sense.
Yeah, he is. And he does it.
Wow.
And
he does every fucking one of them.
Single thing.
When you're a celebrity, you better.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. But that dude goes way beyond the...
Yeah, the one that I thought was pretty crazy, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, they had one little boy who had to have his arm, had to have his arm amputated due to cancer. And the person he wanted to meet was Mark Hamill, so he could tell Mark Hamill after Luke lost his hand and he became more powerful,
wow.
I wanted to let you know that's how I got through this shit.
Wow.
And Mark Hamill showed up there and cried like a little girl, which I would have did also. So that's super awesome.
Going back to the Cena thing, in August 2015, he granted his 500th Make-A-Wish request.
Yep.
That was 2015.
Right.
Corey, you're hired.
Amazing.
That's the first time I've seen that come out like immediately. Normally I'm busting their balls. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Looking at dick pics? You know, and no, motherfucker, I'm looking things up.
No, that was the next page that I had.
By the way. Sorry, there it is. You're hired, Corey. All right, it's rumored that the latest Bond movie will follow the story of Her Majesty's Royal Secret Service, which will see Bond retired from MI6 and married. In that story, his wife is killed by Blofeld, which marks his return to the spy game. Speaking of James Bond, it's also reported that Apple and Amazon are in bidding wars for the exclusive rights to stream the movies. With streaming services being the wave of the future, Bond is a nice property to have part of one's exclusive content.
Yeah.
If this is Daniel Craig's last Bond, I am 100% behind this.
Yeah, this is the way you send him out. I mean, Casino Royale was a remake. I mean, they're going to remake the Lazenby movie, but it was a novel before it was any of this. So,
I will watch any Daniel Craig Bond movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was pleasantly surprised with You know what I'm trying to say.
Spectre.
That one. And I'll go.
I'll watch any James Bond movie with Daniel Craig as long as it's not Quantum of Solace. All the other ones I'll watch.
Yeah.
That one was boring as fuck, but
Writer's strike.
But hey, look, I think it's cool. You know, I mean, I agree with you, Corey. If this is going to be the way to send him off, this is the way you do it. So, all right, Gavin O'Connor, director of The Accountant, will direct and write Suicide Squad 2.
Wow.
I like The Accountant.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, hell yeah. That was a great movie.
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. He's going to do a sequel. After all of the recent developments with DC Comics, I'm going to see the movies now to see how bad they are. I don't really give a fuck. I don't think they'll be good. I don't care. I just want to go to see... I'll go to see Marvel movies to see if they've learned anything to do new, which is kind of rare. But I'll go see DC movies now to see how fucking terrible they are. So...
Wow, you sound like you have superhero fatigue.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of a little wore out, but I tell you, out of the superhero movies, the one I am really looking forward to, I'm looking forward to the one with Brie Larson, the 90s
Captain
throwback one.
Yeah, the Marvel.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to just about every Marvel movie that I know that's coming out from
the
now
calendar.
on.
Except Civil War. We had a
No,
reverse.
I'm
He
looking
saw Civil War
forward.
and hated it, and now
Forward.
he wants to see everything.
I can hate Ultron, Civil War.
We
whatever.
know you hate. We know you.
I'm just
hate.
saying I'm looking forward to Marvel movies moving forward. Like I'm really excited about Thor.
Yeah,
Really excited
Thor.
about
I'm
Thor.
excited about.
So much so that I stopped
Avengers.
watching trailers.
I feel you.
So, in other words, we can't talk about Thor anymore now on
We can
on
talk
the movie
about,
show.
You know, we don't talk about Marvel anymore. They haven't done anything to really spark any news.
I'm looking forward to Black Panther too. I got to say that one.
Yeah.
When does that come out, Thor? It comes out in November.
Third.
Huh? It's November,
3rd.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we're right around the corner from that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Justice League, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Just
shit!
that's like the next weekend after Thor. Just so you know.
That's great.
Wow.
I can't wait to see that piece of shit. Speaking of DC, Aquaman has wrapped, and during the wrap party in Eastern Canada, an unidentified crewman was stabbed during a confrontation outside of a bar where the party took place. The injuries were not serious. The man was treated, and the unidentified guy, he was arrested. The unidentified victim was released, and the assailant was arrested also.
Okay.
Was a 22-year-old man. I think that he was trying to actually probably try to find Warner executives to stab them.
Possibly.
But he just kind of had to settle for, settle
stab
for a pawn.
Stab a man with a trident. I get it.
confused.
Do what you gotta do.
Right. That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you would be so pissed off about, Gary. Perfect. Yeah, see Brick out there throwing fucking tridents, trying to kill his assailant.
I'd see that Aquaman movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
Look. As long as Aquaman isn't the Adrian Grenier as Vince Chase from Entourage Aquaman with James Cameron.
Oh.
In hindsight, I
As
don't know that I would
as long
see
as
that
it's
film,
not
but
that, I'm okay with not going to see
I
Aquaman.
can tell you what this is going to be. This is going to be Aquaman as if he was Conor McGregor. That's what this is going to be.
Oh yeah. Right.
Okay.
Except not Irish, a lot more bro, and maybe
Sure.
some bedazzled jeans. Maybe. We'll see.
All
We'll
right.
see.
It's afflicted Aquaman.
Guy dressed as a bat. I dig it. It's so terrible. Speaking of terrible, Jared Leto finds himself confused as we are as to why Warner would create a Joker origin movie. He says, I'm a little confused too. So there are a couple of things happening in the DC world. It's a big universe, and when you play the Joker, there's no ownership there, especially in your case. You just have the honor of holding the baton for a little while and then passing it off, which couldn't come soon enough. But there are other films in development, and I'm excited to see what comes from them. Honestly, I think that this is pretty much Warner's ability to wave their dick that they're working with Martin Scorsese. If this wasn't a possibility, I don't even think this movie would be getting made.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I still think it's the director's fault that Joker sucked in Suicide Squad.
I agree.
Yeah. Reel it in.
Jared Leto is a great actor, but you got to direct him,
He's a fantastic actor, but I don't really like all of his method acting shit that he does behind the scenes that the stories come out about. Yeah. And he came out and he said, well, all that stuff's bullshit. And I wasn't able to dig deep into it, but now they're saying more of this ridiculous method acting was coming off of the set of Blade Runner.
Oh, he was actually blind.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise did the same shit for Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah, I'm not going to shit on him for method acting, and I take it with a grain of salt, those reports that we made about him sending people mice and whatever the fuck. Yeah, grain of salt shit to hype the movie.
Yeah.
That needed the hype because it certainly didn't fucking perform.
Yeah, Will Smith comes out and says, during the course of making that movie, I don't think I ever met Jared Leto.
Whatever.
I don't think I ever met him. He was the Joker the whole time. And actually what Will was probably saying in that interview, I'm feeding you this line of bullshit so I can really sell the movie. But really, truthfully, I wanted to walk over to his trailer with a tire iron and beat the fuck out of him.
Right.
Yeah.
That's probably what that was. But, I digress. All right, Jennifer Lawrence has officially returned for the next X-Men movie and explains her decision to return. My contract was up. I didn't have to do another one. But if I didn't do another one, what would her story be? I felt like I owed it to the fans and I owed it to the character to follow her journey and to be fair to the movies and not be like, I don't want to do another X-Men. And then I just never show up and everyone's confused about the mystique they've been following for the last 3 films.
I mean, fair enough. She was definitely a more interesting character played by her than...
Yeah. But I think that was on purpose.
What's the next? They're going Dark Phoenix, right?
Yeah, they're going Dark Phoenix.
So McAvoy's back?
Yeah.
They're all back.
Everyone's back.
Everyone's back.
Okay, so she comes back.
I look, but here's the other thing with her also. I'm really not going to bust her balls too hard from a professional standpoint, even though she makes ludicrous fucking statements to the media. But I am gonna say this in the fact that she doesn't really need to do this.
No.
She totally does not need to do this kind of shit.
Yeah.
She's a fucking great actress, and she's been in a lot of wonderful movies. I mean, in the last, probably 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good on her if she wants to return, and good on her if she can make the money.
Right.
Hey, rock and roll.
I'm going to go see Mother
next
weekend.
Fuck yeah.
Me too.
And I'm pretty sure that's going to leave a mark, but sure.
A lot of the critics are saying, we understand that it is the big horror movie for this season, and we all liked it, and it's a lot of positive reviews. But if you want to see something really fucked up, go see Mother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. So, it is rumored that Lucasfilm has ceased all development on comic books, novels, and video games set between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, making some believe that anthology movies will be released to cover the 30-year gap between the saga movies.
Yes.
What do you put there? I mean,
it doesn't make a difference because it's just going to be safe bullshit anyway.
Right. Let's tell the story of how Han and Leia got divorced and
let's tell a story about.
Do we really want to see that?
Let's tell a story about the little blue elephant that plays the fucking keyboards in Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Oh, what is his name?
Snidely. Max Rebo.
Max Rebo. Thank you.
Are they making that movie? We're gonna get to see.
Oh,
that
they
too?
probably will.
I would watch that.
Max Rebo, the movie.
Max Rebo meets the Phantom. It'll be like
Mad Max Rebo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little Salacious Crumb.
Someone make that.
How did he get there beside Jabba? We want to know. Although, the Battle of
He
He goes through
He
Indeed.
sings the blues. Get it? Because he's blue.
There you go. But the Battle of Jakku seems like a pretty big deal, and really all we know about it is the video game, which is really the aftermath, like how the Star Destroyer crashed in the desert.
Yeah.
Funny you bring that up. There's a novel that's called Aftermath that covers all that stuff.
Oh, so it covers the Battle of Jakku?
It covers the Battle of Jakku, and what's pretty cool about it is that the main characters like Han and Luke and Leia aren't even involved in it. What's pretty cool is the guy who's the general that leads the whole war over Jakku, Wedge Antilles.
Oh.
So yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, okay.
If you don't know Wedge
Good old
Antilles, Wedge Antilles was Luke's X-wing wingman in all three movies. He started out in New Hope and made it all the way through Jedi, even to where he fires one of the kill shots against the second Death Star. So
Sweet.
yeah, I didn't get a chance to read Aftermath, but I go to this excellent website that's called Star Wars Explained, and he breaks down everything for you.
Oh, all right.
And he went through a lot of the stuff in Aftermath, and there's some stuff that's happened in that novel that I thought was really fucking cool. I won't go on to the show; we'll talk about it after. But yeah, I mean, they got some really neat stuff in there, and I don't know, man. Look, I love Star Wars. I love it. I've loved it since I was fucking 3 years old. I'm gonna go see the movies, but I'm not really pleased with the creative choices and the creative direction they're going in right now. These anthology movies, it's really a chance to kind of break out and do something really adventurous, and it just doesn't look like they're gonna do it.
Jury's out.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait until they come out.
the Obi-Wan news is hot and heavy, but hey, guess what? Nothing still has been made official about that. So could be getting all pissed off over nothing. So all right, last piece of Star Wars news here. Making Star Wars reports that they've heard rumors that the Millennium Falcon will have a fresh and newer look in the upcoming Han Solo movie. There's talk of a white paint job with blue markings, and we'll see the cargo forks located at the nose of the ship being used for the first time. Love it.
R2,
Yes.
R2MF.
If you're gonna make and this was one of my big issues with the prequels to begin with. Everything looked shinier because we had the capability to make these CGI ships in space look shinier, and the reason why you had the X-wings and the TIE fighters look crappier in the later films was because they were at war and supplies were missing. Absolutely, make the Millennium Falcon look like it just came off the assembly line, and he has is using a UPS truck to do his smuggling.
What I would do with it is that I would make a couple of little aesthetic things with the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I would kind of change up. What I would do is take the big gun turrets out of it.
Yeah.
And just make it like regular cannons for like a visual thing, and I'd knock the sensor dish off of the top of it, give it a paint job and all that stuff. But Lando still has modified the engines to where it can still be known as the hunk is, the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy.
That's right.
So, I would stick with that. And I think they'll do stuff like that. Those guys are so like they're not stingy with details on that kind of shit at all. Mm-hmm. So I think that they'll be pleased. And honestly, even though a Han Solo movie really wouldn't be a choice, what I've been watching since Ron Howard's taken over, I'm actually kind of excited about it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I like the idea of Ron Howard. I know I wasn't on that episode when y'all talked about that, but I like the Ron Howard approach to it. I think if we can get the idea of space a la Apollo 13,
yeah,
but Star Wars, like the way Ron Howard sees space, yeah.
That
I'm cool with that.
I want to see shit, man. I'm cool with him taking some Willow. I mean, Willow is Willow is a just basically a goofy retelling of Star Wars, but it's got a lot of heart to it, and I hope that he can bring that heart to the Han Solo movie.
And don't forget, one of the first 3 movies he made was Night Shift, which was really, really funny. So he's actually a more logical replacement for Lord and whatever the
Lord Miller, yeah.
Lord Miller. I keep wanting to say Lord and Taylor, but
Just
it's
say-
Lord Miller.
Just say the Lego guys.
Yeah, the
Lord
Lego
and
guys.
Taylor.
He's a better inheritor of the Lego guys than you might think at first.
I think he's a perfect fit.
He is.
Oh, and one more thing before we get in, and we're going to do Lord of the Rings today. That's why Corey's here. I'm actually going to like step out.
We're gonna do Game of Thrones.
I'm sorry, yeah, Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry, Game of Thrones. Yeah, same thing, but not really.
Lord of the Thrones.
Oh, look,
Right.
my
Lord
buddy,
of the Thrones.
my buddy Adam is like a Tolkien fanatic, and he'll go and he'll quote on his Facebook page stupid shit that people say, and you can tell when he's being sarcastic, and he put R. Martin is the new Tolkien, and they're like. So watching me, it's like he feels like he's like, dude, it's like I feel like somebody slapped me in the face with a dick when somebody tells me something like that.
Yeah, well, that satire goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's for later when we actually talk about.
Well, we'll hit this little topic real quick before Lord of the Thrones. That's why we got Corey in here today. And also, big news, Lord of the Thrones is actually about to surpass Breaking Bad as the best television show in the history of TV. So
We'll never know, though.
it's becoming closer and closer that I don't have to watch it. So we're getting fucking close. So
Maybe.
But one last quick topic before we go here, and it's the big one. It was originally going to be the show topic before Corey confirmed being on here with us, but Colin Trevorrow, much like the Lego guys, has now been fired from Star Wars Episode 9.
Not much like the Lego guys. He was fired before they shot a single frame. So
Right.
that dude's name's showing up nowhere on it.
It's looking like Disney is getting a little scrappy with this one because it's kind of like they fired the Lego guys and they took a lot of pounding and a lot of shit from social media, but this one they're firing back. And they came out and they said, well, if you want to know the reason he got fired, he made Jurassic World. He was picked by Spielberg. Jurassic World ended up going through the roof. He then basically obtained an ego that went through the fucking ceiling. And then when he did that, he came out with the Book of Henry. It was a piece of shit. And we realized that we don't want to work with him because he's
a dick.
Because he's a fucking dick. But I do agree with John that Kathleen Kennedy is probably a dick also. But she's a dick that's made E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, Schindler's List. The list goes on. And, I posed that as a question to these guys over text messages last week, but, how can Marvel make this shit work?
Marvel?
But Star Wars can't. They're owned by the same company, practically doing the same thing. And John's answer was, and I got to agree with him, Feige probably has been around a shorter amount of time, so he doesn't have as many habits as Kathleen Kennedy does. She has more experience, and with more experience comes more ways to do things the way that you see fit.
Absolutely.
But I trust her over anybody. If she wants to fire him, look, I get fucking pissed off with people that talk about, oh, well, Star Wars is nothing but feminism now. Dude, go fuck yourself with all that fucking bullshit. Anything she wants to do, I'm fucking with her all the way because I know the movies she's made. And the movies she made, I love.
Right.
So I'm with her all the way.
Yeah, she does have a lot more experience, but they have a lot more to lose. Like, if you remember correctly, there's episodes 1, 2, and 3 that was, they're not going to repeat that. And if there's a hint, there's a slice of memory of 1, 2, and 3 in any of these new directors that they get, out, gone. See you later.
Well, I think the thing with it is, it's not really even a hint of episodes 1, 2, and 3. I think the thing with it is they got a forward motion of how they want the franchise to go, and she knows what George Lucas did, and she wants to try to follow the model of what he did. And if people try to draw too far outside of the lines, you're out. Especially if you're a fucking cocksucker. Right. You got to go.
Well, I think that Kathleen Kennedy, because if any one of us got asked to direct the next Star Wars, we'd be like, let me just tell you, it was a seminal influence in my childhood. It's the architecture of my imagination. I'm sure everyone that has a chance to direct a Star Wars movie is all about how they're going to honor and continue the franchise, and I think she has a much more specific idea of how to do that than the directors who are like, I get a chance to put my signature on Star Wars, and it's like you don't get to put your signature on; you get to put your name.
Yeah.
But you have to you have to have 12 fucking setups. You have to, and I don't think she clarified that because she assumed they knew that.
Right. You have to follow the stencil.
Right. And she's going, no. We're letting you in our sandbox. We're not giving you the fucking sandbox. And I feel like she just. It's a simple communication breakdown. She was like, do I have to fucking tell you this? And I feel like she's like, I have to tell them this.
Right.
No matter who they are. So she's probably going to be a little more of a bully, but she has to be if it's cheaper to be a bully up front.
If you asked me to do that film, I would assume I don't have control of this film. I am making a movie for you. Tell me what to do, and I will do it.
That's exactly what I would do.
No,
I'd be tickled to death. Look, I'd say not only will I direct your Star Wars movie, you don't even have to pay me. I'll just show up. Look, all I need is food, shelter, and to make the rent while I'm fucking with you.
And your list
and
of
to pay
things
the
you
bills.
want me to do.
That's all I need to do. And give me your bullet points of what you want me to do, and I'll take care of the program.
Exactly.
I'll spitball some ideas at you just so I can feel good about myself.
Right.
But feel free to call me a fucking retard and shoot them down.
Exactly.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think another thing with it is, too, it was something you and I talked about, and I'll use Scott and I as an example. I go to Scott and I say, okay, Scott, I really want to, start a little music project, and I want to write some music. As you know, man, look, I'm heavily influenced by Alice in Chains and Tool, and I want something that's kind of in that vein. And Scott says, yeah, man, that sounds awesome, man. Yeah, I think we could really do something cool like that. I'm going to go and write some riffs. Well, Scott comes back and the riffs that he wrote sound like fucking Pantera. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of what this is, I mean, it's two people that think that they have a good idea in place.
Right.
But one of them, especially the one with the bigger balls, even though she happens to be a woman, she's the one that says, no, that wasn't what I'm thinking. You're dismissed now. You can go away.
Yeah.
Go make the Book of Henry Part 2. So that's it.
Good luck.
Lego guys, you all go ahead and do a retelling of the fucking greatest American hero.
So the requisite question before we move on to the show topic is, who would we pick to direct the episode 9 now that Trevorrow's been handed his hat?
Honestly, I know he has a lot on his plate coming up, but I like Joe Cornish for it, and I wasn't that big of a fan of Attack of the Block.
Yeah, that would be a great choice.
But I think he would do it justice.
Oh, he'd be a great choice.
Because I think he would be the guy who you go, hey, Joe, we need you to write Ant-Man to fit into, what we're looking for. And he wrote Ant-Man, and Ant-Man is exactly what you want in that flying under Marvel movie. It's not your giant Marvel movie. It's not,
Right, it does the same thing as every other Marvel origin movie.
Right.
So, I mean...
So if you're looking for the guy who's just going to, do the job, I think he's your guy.
If you're looking for the guy that's just going to do the job, it doesn't matter who you get to direct then. This question, I get it, but it doesn't matter. Like, who would you get to direct? It doesn't matter because they're going to follow Kathleen Kennedy's rule and it's going to go.
Well, but, I mean, you can still James Gunn it, though.
Right.
James
it's Star
Gunn,
Wars, though. It's not Marvel. This is Star Wars. It's,
Well, I know, but it's also Marvel, the one that showed Wright the door. You know what I mean? So Edgar Wright got shown the door because he was too much of a director with a singular vision that didn't jive with the rest of the universe. James Gunn was able to hit every checkbox and yet still make it a signature movie, and I still think that there's room to do that in Star Wars. It's just a fine line that's hard to articulate.
I also think James Gunn because he got Guardians, and not many people, despite what they say, not many people are as hip to Guardians prior to the films coming out.
Yeah.
He was given a little bit of wiggle room.
I still think
it's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love both of those movies.
I don't think Feige was like, do what you want.
No.
I think Feige was like, here's what I expect.
I'm going to run mine down because we're kind of running short on time, so we can get to Game of Thrones. So what it comes down to is, look, here's my dream choice. My dream choice as a fanboy and being pretty familiar with the behind the scenes shit of Star Wars. Steven Spielberg directing a Star Wars movie would be fucking awesome.
Absolutely.
My choice that would excite me like nerdgasm blow through the roof, Dave Filoni, who is the executive producer of Star Wars animation. He's created Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars, and he is a custodian of that franchise.
Star Wars Rebels, the Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad.
Has great respect for it. Great respect for it. He would very excite me. Likely choices that I would be very happy with and expect the announcement any day. It's either going to be Rian Johnson or J.J. Abrams that are going to direct Episode 9.
Yeah.
That's going to be the ones, and I'm totally fine with that. Not a peep of bullshit out of their production, with the exception of a broken leg on Harrison Ford. Disney was happy with everything they did.
Yeah.
Let's move forward and just get the fucking thing done.
Yeah.
So,
I
that's
agree. No, I don't care, to be quite honest with you, but I mean, with Chris's answer, yeah, that's fine. It's the safe. It sounds like it's the safe Star Wars route to go, and they've already proven they can make movies. So
the other two fail safes I think would be either Matt Vaughn or Brad Bird. I think they
I like Matt Vaughn.
Drop the mic on it really well, but considering the schedule pressures they now have because they waited till the last minute, I think Ryan is likely going to be the guy.
I would be very excited also to see Brad Bird. Matthew Vaughn, I don't want to see him come to Star Wars because I don't think he's capable of making the movie. He's too much of a maverick director. He does his own thing. But he would be great. I mean, I think that he would be great down the road when they're finally ready to get fucking adventurous with the property.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him do like an underground, like crime world Star Wars, gritty
Boba Fett.
crime world style. Yeah,
Boba
Boba Fett for him would be fucking fantastic. So,
damn right.
you are listening to Popcorn, Piss, and Vinegar.
television,
Movies.
Pop culture.
Keep up with the latest news from Luke Skywalker all the way to Batman.
from Netflix to the CW,
And all the news in between.
Please subscribe and rate us on iTunes.
or stream our episodes from PPVGuys.com.
You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at PPVGuys.
Check out our friends Not Real Radio at notrealradio.com for our segment Not Real Movie News.
Should you listen to more? Yes. Will you agree? Maybe.
Jury's out.
Indeed.
Thank you for listening.
And action. All right, so our show topic is Game of Thrones, which I left I think at about the third season. I just got tired of
What's
it.
the last thing you remember?
The last thing that I saw was Jaime Lannister getting his hand chopped off.
So you didn't even see the Red Wedding?
No.
Oh.
No, I didn't see
You
any
didn't
of
even
that.
get to that.
dude.
Yeah,
That's-
that's
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's the whole thing.
mid-three.
I mean, I look, I understand. Look, I'll let you all talk about what you want to do and what y'all want to, like what you all have seen and all of that stuff. I mean, unless y'all want to beat the piss out of me for the next 15 minutes because I haven't watched it.
Nah, we have a hold on the show. We can do that on.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, I'll just go walk over to the corner and slash my wrist and y'all can talk about it. So
That's fantastic.
Works out good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, like, here's the thing. You guys were on, like, season 5 or 4 of Walking Dead, and you both were like, yeah, season 2 is insufferably shitty and awful, but the rest of it's good. And I was like, God damn it. All right. I manned the fuck up, and I watched all of Walking Dead, and I got caught up. So you, Chris, have to watch Game of... I'll give you a pass on it, man.
I will let
And
you
Breaking Bad.
know. I'll let you know after this. I want to hear the conversation.
Okay, yeah.
And we're going to see if its epicness can unseat Breaking Bad.
All right.
If this conversation can unseat Breaking Bad, I'm not watching it.
So we have to...
But
so
if it can
So
stay
we can't
underneath
sell it.
Breaking
We
Bad,
can't sell
So we
it.
have to
I
go
can't
check.
sell it.
if it
All
can
right.
stay underneath fucking Breaking Bad, well, no. I mean, you all are so enamored with this thing. I know it's impossible not to get excited.
Well, not
So-
only are we enamored with it, but there is, a large population of the American or the world that also watches this show and also.
So what you're saying is, when somebody else jumps off a bridge, I got to jump off a bridge too. I thought you were somebody's father, motherfucker. Come on. All right, let's go.
I mean, Game of Thrones is essentially shaping up to be a medieval Star Wars. I mean,
It is.
truth be told, it has a backstory and a legacy that is just as mapped out right now, and they're talking about making multiple spin-offs and
Which I don't
gonna be
think
a
will
big
happen,
deal.
and I don't care if it happens because once this is done, and I'll go and say that I don't care who gets the throne or who's alive or who's dead by the end of this show. I just
Yeah.
want to get to the end of the show.
Yeah.
I want to see how it plays out.
Right.
Because they really.
The story. I need to feel like the story is complete.
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's lost by the end of at the end of the story. Chris, I'm going to say this too. Like they really, how they took a lot of time to get to where they are. but the special effects, just the special effects in the show alone are
outstanding.
cinema.
I saw some of the stuff from this past
Worthy.
season, just stuff playing on ads and things like that, and you can't deny whether you're interested in the show or not. I mean, the quality of the special effects look incredible. I mean, it's great for TV.
It's just a pretty show.
Yeah.
The zombie
really
horses
is.
alone
The horses are great.
are awesome.
The horses are awesome. The bear was just
Incredible. Yeah. I just like here's some shade I will throw at it. Is it seems like they were being loyal to the books up till season at the end of 4, maybe
Well, there were
5.
nothing after.
yeah,
4.
like
That was it. They were already going off on their own tangent at that point, and then
Right.
when Martin was like, "Oh, I don't have any more books left,"
Right.
then they were like, "Well, if we're gonna go on a tangent, let's just scrap this idea altogether and just go."
Yeah.
Let's just
And
scrap
so it was like
these.
100 miles an hour. They just went after their own story that they knew because they do
Right.
have an ending. That's the beauty of the show. There
Yeah.
is an ending. So they're going after their own ending. I mean, they're going after the ending, but
yeah, there
telling it
is
the
an
way-
ending that they were given.
Correct.
Yeah, Martin gave
That's
them.
what I think is great, though. My favorite expression now in fandom, whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, whatever the fuck it is, these mega franchises. You now all of a sudden, from the blood and ashes, rises something that calls itself a true fan. So a true fan is the truest thing of the word, and anybody else who has any level of like or love for something, they're not a true fan. So, you have to be a true fan. Well, now I have been experiencing the wing of true Game of Thrones fans. And their biggest argument now is that since Martin hasn't finished the novels, this show has kind of diverged from what he originally intended. But if I'm not mistaken, he gave him the fucking ending.
Yeah,
He
he
did.
gave
Yeah,
him.
he
He gave
gave
him the
him-
diagram. He gave him practically a syllabus of what to come.
So if you're a true fan of Game of Thrones and you're listening to this, dude, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But give us 5 stars. Give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
True
Yeah,
fan.
please give us a review because we need true fans too.
Right.
But I mean, like the Hodor twist, that was obviously something that was going to happen.
You
It was
realize-
it was brilliant.
So since the North doesn't bury their dead, there is a good chance that we'll get all of these characters who have died in the past because they're walkers in this show as well, which is why I love it so much.
Yeah,
so there's zombies.
Yep.
Also,
Some for everybody.
So all the so Hodor will probably get. There's a good
Yeah.
chance we'll get a walker.
He definitely
Hodor.
died north of the wall. So if he's part of that horde that's coming through, which okay, I'm gonna shit all over this one little piece of the finale because I
But by the
watched
way,
it last night. I
massive-
rewatched it last night.
Massive spoilers now will begin happening if you are not caught up to Game of Thrones.
Okay, so the wall comes down,
Yes.
yet it's totally flat, and the horde is able to walk.
I give all that shit. There's a lot of things
That's
that
my
I'll
biggest
forgive,
issue
I'll pass
with the
because
finale.
it-
Everything else was spot on. I
the
watched
show-
it a second time last night, and it still gave me chills.
The show gets passes because the scenes, the special effects, the writing. I think they're all well done. The characters, they're able to take these characters and start at the beginning of the season and bring them fast. Like they don't. There's not a whole lot of walking, Chris. So just let you. There's not a whole lot of travel time. So what they're doing is instead of
So in other words, it's really not like Lord of the Rings.
Not in
Right.
this season. Earlier
Right.
seasons, a little bit more, but in this past,
season,
in
they're
this
like,
last
oh,
season,
we're going from Westeros to the Wall. It's the next scene. It's not like, all right, let's get on the boat.
Well,
and
I've
let's
heard
go
that.
drive,
I've
and
heard a
let's-"
big criticism, especially in this season, is the fact that some things happen faster than other things.
Yes.
Again.
So, like you see, Samuel Tarly, I think is the character's
Correct.
name. The Pillsbury Doughboy that's friends with Aegon Targaryen.
He becomes
Yeah.
like he almost becomes like a Jedi in training.
Yeah.
At this point, like he goes to Jedi school and learns from all the Jedi monks.
but he
and-
leaves
look,
early.
but then-
he Skywalkers.
Don't compare this shit to Star Wars.
All
Okay?
right. Not only am I going to compare,
We're just
it,
trying to help you
So
understand.
what I'll think is I'll think of Sam Tarly as kind of like the fat vampire from Blade, Pearl, and like he kind of has
more
like
like a chubby Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I'm going
early on.
with Chubby Luke.
Okay. Oh, you can go fuck yourselves. Well, and what I get the point is that I hear that it takes Sam like the entire season to get one place, but other characters to where maybe it's something that's only half the distance or something that's comparable in space. Those things are happening immediately.
And my answer to that criticism is, do you care? Not you, Chris, but like as a viewer, I don't care that it takes Sam 3 episodes to get from A to B because I don't care about Sam's story right now. There are zombies and dragons and hellfire and
time doesn't have to be linear within these scenes.
Not only that, but here's another thing you have to factor in is that the first 4 episodes kept introducing characters. Then they were like, all right, we have 3 more seasons to wrap this shit up. They started killing characters that aren't yet dead in the books that you suspected were ancillary or not primary players. You know, they're not Jon Snow. They're not Daenerys. They're not Tyrion.
Right.
The people that we know are still going to be around.
I mean, it seems to me it seems to me there's 5 power characters in the whole story. The 3 you mentioned, along with the Stark sisters.
Yes.
Everybody else is just an ancillary. Well, and the Lannister twins.
Yeah. So
the Lannister twins, the 3 Lannisters, the 3 Starks, and Daenerys Targaryen.
Right.
Seems to me they're kind of the principal characters, and everybody else is kind of fair game.
Right. So in the first 4 seasons, when they went from point A to B, there were like 12 other characters' stories that they had to maintenance, and now there aren't as many people left.
No.
So the narrative is narrowing down to just
right. It took
evil,
7 seasons to get to the beginning of the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah,
that's basically what it did. The Magnificent Seven, which I saw the remake of that, another remake that was actually halfway decent.
Yep. Anton Fuqua.
Yeah. Finally getting those 7 or 8 guys that they had going up to go get the White Walker, the White. That was a moment. Like I was like, oh wow, here it is, and they bring Gendry back, and it's like, oh, he's been gone for 5 seasons.
Yep.
We finally get him back. I do want to know more about what happened while he was gone.
He's Batman.
Right.
Exactly. But yeah, just getting all those guys together, watching that team assemble and move forward was really nice.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's delivering on what was promised.
Right.
You know what I mean? So these narrative shortcuts they take, I'm with.
Yeah, I don't care how they do it.
In every episode,
just get me there.
It's always teased that something's going to happen in every episode. Like, oh, is John's going to finally meet Daenerys? Or
well, sure. I mean,
but
that's what keeps
I'm
you watching,
is,
unless you're me.
But that's the tease. Like, oh, they're finally going to meet next episode. Well, when that next episode happens, they don't meet at the end of the episode. They meet in the beginning. Like the episode opens,
cold open, boom,
and they meet. It's like, oh, we're going to finally see dragons doing A, B, and C. Well, opens up next episode, dragons, A, B, and C.
Yeah.
We're going to find out where the walkers are. Walkers, A, B, and... Like, they don't... That's the other thing about the show, which people keep crying about, is that they're just... It's going too fast. But really, it's not... Yeah. They have an hour and 10 to play, and... they're doing as much as they can, and I feel like
in there's the time allotted,
there's no slow episodes.
Oh no,
but they're not too fast. They're just everything. And if I just feel like if they would have had a book to back that up on, it may have been a little slower, and we may not have gotten
I think
the
pacing. I think the pacing would have been off, and I think they would have had to push to a 9th season. But one of the things that I really enjoyed later, especially rewatching that finale for the second time, but the way that the season started was a little slow. I
didn't think so at all.
I feel like it was slow acting wise. There was a lot of action right out the gate. But in that finale, you get one of the best scenes that Dinklage and Lena Headey have done in 7 seasons.
Oh, it's because they haven't been in a scene together in almost 7 seasons.
Yeah, in almost 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that scene with them two, that sit down at the table, wow.
That's the other thing, to your point.
Just a rockin' scene.
Yeah, to your point, Corey, I can't remember the last television show I've ever watched, ever, that I've watched certain episodes multiple times,
Yeah.
and enjoyed it and caught more the second and third and fourth time. That includes Battlestar Galactica, Breaking Bad, you name it. There's just so much going on.
Well,
And
maybe you have to go back to
That's
the
it,
island.
John. You just sold it.
Yeah,
You just sold it.
it's
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, like
I'm gonna go watch Breaking Bad now and skip fucking Game of Thrones.
okay. I'm sorry. There's one other show I've done that with, and that's Star Wars Rebels, biatch. Think about that.
That's Star Wars. It's a class all of its own.
Well, so's Game of Thrones, man. That's the thing.
Yeah, Game of Thrones, it has something for everybody.
Yeah.
They know how to do. They know how to do the Walker. They know how to do zombies better than.
Oh,
Walking
yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're annoyed as there's certain things that bored the fuck out of you or you got annoyed with. Now that you can binge watch it, I think that the showrunners echoed your sentiment, and it starts to. I mean, it's.
I think really what the problem with it all is that for me it's really is time management. I just have a lot of shit that goes on, and I have to be very selective in what I watch. And I think the thing with it is now I'm to the point to where unless it's something I really love, like Star Wars Rebels,
Yeah.
I'm to a point now to where I've backed off on stuff that's currently running. I find myself watching a lot of older shit now. Stuff that I want to rewatch, things like that, because I can watch it at my own pace.
Right.
It's like Deadwood. I've been rewatching it.
It's fantastic. It's a
I was
fantastic
binge
show.
watching it every night. I'm about it's 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about a season and a half through. I was watching 1 or 2 episodes a night. But shit got busy. I had to put it down. I haven't watched it in like a week.
Right.
But in the next couple of days, I'll
Right,
get back on it
who
again.
knows in 2 years when this show's over with and they're teetering on starting the spinoff, the next spinoff, and you have some time to kill, you can sit there and watch almost 90 hours of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way: if you started over, and has your girlfriend watched it, or your fiance?
No.
If your fiance watches it, you're committed. Like,
Well, you got to realize something. She's young yet, so the kind of shit that she watches, she's a reality TV freak. So that's her big thing.
yeah,
So
yeah. I'll put it to you this
Tell her
way:
it's real.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It is the game.
I have to give her that
Thrones.
credit, though. But I got to give her that credit, though, is that she doesn't buy into reality TV. She knows it's bullshit. It's guilty pleasure watching.
It's like
for her.
wrestling.
Oh yeah. Hey,
So
no.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
true.
that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
All I have to say is that the biggest fans of this franchise that I've met that obsess on it are women. Like,
Yeah.
like women are way bigger fans, which is a shocker because at least the first couple of episodes, like a lot of feminists crush on Khal Drogo, and that motherfucker at one point in honor of Daenerys, and you saw this episode where he's like, "We will go to the Seven Kingdoms and we will rape their women," and all these women were like, "Boy, that rant is so hot." I was like, "Did you read the subtitles?" Like,
Right.
That is not sexy talk there. They're like,
Well, it is
"Yeah,
a
but
very,
look at who was saying it."
It is a very female-driven show.
Absolutely.
Like Daenerys.
In the end, yes, it
You
is.
know,
The Star
Lannisters,
Girls, the Lannister, Cersei.
What's her name? The old queen who kills.
Oh God,
Lyanna.
Lyanna, yeah.
Lady
a
Olenna.
lot of badass.
Yeah,
and a lot of badass moments.
Some really great
want
female
her to know
characters.
All men must die. I mean, that was the fourth.
Yeah, Valar Morghulis.
I think it's one of these shows like anything else. I think it's like Harry Potter. I think it's like to Star Trek, Game of Thrones, Star Wars. It's one of these shows that it's broken the boundaries and it's gone into the stratosphere. And I think it's something that appeals to absolutely everybody.
Except you.
No, man, look, I bust balls. I mean, really what it comes down to is it's time management for me. I will get to it someday. I won't get to Breaking Bad probably. Even though I really should watch that show, I'll probably never get to it because it's a
understand.
fucking time thing.
Yeah,
You know?
It is. It's a very big time investment, unless you're...
it's worth your time.
Yeah.
Well, my little brother's been on my ass about Game of Thrones, and he told me, he's like, I don't give a fuck if I need to come to your house or you need to come over here. We're going to binge watch it twice a week, 3 episodes a night till we're fucking done.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
support your brother.
Yep,
all right, so
I'm in.
I might, it gives me a chance to hang out with him. You
there
know?
you go.
You could be a true fan.
That's right.
So,
5 stars.
yeah, I can be a true fan.
That's right.
Speaking of true fans.
Yeah, speaking of true fans, hey, look, we appreciate you guys listening, but in addition, Corey, we really appreciate you coming on, man. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you,
It's
buddy.
good to be back.
But look, we appreciate you guys listening. Please jump over to PPVGuys.com. You can check out previous episodes. We also ask that you subscribe over at iTunes at PPV Guys. If you're a true fan of the show, leave us a review, or in the least, just give us 5 stars if you're a regular fan. We also ask for you to go visit Scary Thoughts with our buddies Mark, Kate, and Chad Lott, and also Allie Brown, the Czar, and Mayday over at Not Real Radio. Do the same if you're a true fan of them or ours as well. Thanks for listening. End scene.